He wanted to become a scientist in the field of astrophysics. Instead, he has become a social scientist. Kanshiram Sahib asked, who is Baba Sahib Ambedkar? Whom do you think that Ambedkar? Do you call him a national leader? Who told you? See, because of that person and his constitution, all these dogs which are to be on the streets, they are coming into our place and they are questioning us. They are getting the courage to question us. I will kill you, all of you. All of you, one by one, two, three, four, five. I'll kill all of you. It's my challenge. It's my promise. It's my pledge. Within 2-3 days after coming out of the jail, he purchased a pistol, illegal pistol he purchased. And he was very much decided, even at the cost of my life, I should not allow these people to live. That was his pledge. Brahmanism is a disease, but Ambedkarism is the cure.
कि जिस समाज की गैर राजनीतिक जड़ें मजबूत नहीं होती हैं, उस समाज की राजनीति कामयाब नहीं हो सकती है। और जब मैं जड़ें देखने लगा तो मुझे जड़ें ही नज़र नहीं आई। तो मुझे लगा ये तो समाज ही रूटलेस है। पहले तो जड़ें बनानी होंगी, फिर इसको मजबूत करना होगा और फिर उस मजबूती का सहारा लेकर तब हमें राजनीति के बारे में सोचना चाहिए, आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। तो इसलिए मेरा ज़िंदगी का बहुत सा समय समाज की गैर राजनीतिक जड़ों को मजबूत करने में लगा।
My dear brothers and sisters, Jai Bhim to you all. I once again welcome you to the series, The Messages of Political Buddha, Manyawar Kanshiram. In this episode, we are seeing a very interesting story about Manyawar Kanshiram Sahib. You all know about the events that has taken place in the life of Manyawar Kanshiram, which have turned him as a great social scientist. In fact, he wanted to become a scientist in the field of astrophysics. Instead, he has become a social scientist. What made him to become a social scientist and ultimately a political Buddha? This is the very important point on which I was pondering several times. So once I asked him, while we were in Visakhapatnam after a program, so I was sitting with Saab, then I asked Saab, what made you to take such a great decision? Because it's not an ordinary decision. Unless something that has disturbed his very core, the very core of his being, nobody would take such a decision. So I wanted to know it from his own mouth. Then Saab started telling. After the dinner, he sat very leisurely. Then he started telling. See, while he was under training in a DORDO, Dehradun, he had a batchmate. He was also a roommate, one Mr. Parshuram from Maharashtra. One day he was weeping uncontrollably. Early in the morning, he was weeping uncontrollably, and he was crying with speaking some words, Baba, 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 how can we live? How can we live? Who will be our next guide? Who will take care of us? All these things he was telling. Then he asked him, what man, what happened? Who died? Then after some time, after he insisted him very much, then he said, we lost Baba Sahib Ambedkar. Then immediately Kanshiram Sahib asked, who is Baba Sahib Ambedkar? Then he said, see, if you are here today, it is because of Baba Sahib Ambedkar. It is because of Baba Sahib Ambedkar, our community has got a voice in this society, recognition in this society, identity in the society. It's all because of him. Because of him, our community got the respect, dignity, everything. Today you are here. Your community was Ramdasya community, and it was not a scheduled caste community. Only in 1952 you got the status of a scheduled caste, and because of that you are also here. Same is the case with us. Same is the case with all the scheduled castes. And such a great person we lost today. He left us. Saab was a bit shocked, but he was unable to say anything because he was not knowing about Baba Ambedkar. And he left him to just console himself, and he left the room. And that person did not attend the class also. And he kept on weeping, crying, shouting for next 2-3 days. After 4 days, Saab asked him, see, I can understand your feeling, and I can also understand the pain you have in your mind. But what is the use of just keep on crying without eating food? When you are not eating food, as a friend, how can I eat, man? And above all, what more you can do? Sahib has already passed away. Baba Ambedkar has passed away. Nothing can be done now. You cannot bring him back. If you are so much serious, why don't you think of carrying ahead his movement, which has left incomplete? Then the person said, no, how can I do it? I'm a very small man. I don't have any support. If I start doing that work, then who will take care of my family? Who will take care of my expenses? Then Saab said, see how much you require to maintain your family and yourself. Then he said some amount. Then Saab immediately said, okay, I will send that money every month to you. You leave this job, go back to your state and carry the movement. Initially that fellow did not believe him. He did not believe Saab. But after 5-6 days, again and again, Saab kept on insisting him, telling him. And after 15 days, that fellow said, okay, I will leave the job right now and I'll go to my state. Immediately resigned his job and he went back to Maharashtra. Then onwards, Saab started sending the amount every month. Soon after getting the salary, the first thing he was doing is he was sending the money to him. Whatever the money he promised, he was sending that money to him. And with the remaining amount, he was managing himself, and also he was sending some amount to his own village, to Punjab. And this practice went on for nearly 15 to 18 months, almost 1.5 years. But after 1.5 years, the money sent by money order, it started coming back. After 2, 3, 4 months, he just went to the post office and asked the official why the money is coming back. Why he is not receiving it? What happened? Then the postmaster said, we don't know. That person is not there in the said address. He must have left the place and nobody to receive the money there. So the money is coming back to you. Then Saab said, is there any chance of tracing out? No chance. We can't do that. Somebody else have to do it. Saab thought that this Parshuram must have been very much upset because he was unable to face the reality of life. He was very much emotionally attached to Baba Ambedkar. But when it comes to the question of reality, he was unable to face the difficulties of the movement, of the real life. Then he must have left the movement and changed his address, must have joined some other job. And Saab also just forgot him. Saab said that was the first time he heard about Baba Ambedkar. And later on, he came back to, he came to Pune and he got the job in CMIE, Central Military Institute of Explosives. There he joined and he was working as a junior scientist, and he was also continuing his PhD under a person Sahasra Bude in the institute. At that time, you know the details that one person, Dina Bana, a class 4 employee, he was the member of the Apex committee, and as a member of the Apex committee, he wanted Baba Ambedkar's Jayanti to have a holiday on that day, and for his demand, the higher officials were opposing him, and later on he insisted, and there was some conflict went on, and these higher officials finally suspended him from the work. This is the story, we all know that. And after Baba Sahib Manyawar Kanshiram Sahib interfered, that whole incident took a different turn. He organized the workers and he wrote to the defense minister, and he got the holidays sanctioned for Baba Sahib Jayanti as well as for Gautam Buddha Jayanti. And not only that, he also got this Dina Bana reinstated. His suspension was revoked. This much we know. But after this event, the higher officials, most of them were all Brahmins, they felt very much humiliated, insulted. A class 4 employee has defeated us and we lost our battle. It is a shame to us. They were unable to tolerate this failure, this defeat. And they started inquiring who must be the person behind this whole episode. Because Dinabana was not an intelligent man, he was an uneducated man. There must be somebody behind that whole incident. They understood that it was none other than Manyawar Kanshiram Sahib. They did not know that Manyawar Kanshiram Sahib was a scheduled caste. They thought that he must be a Brahmin from the Punjab. So during the lunch hour, all these officials used to assemble in his chamber, the chamber of Mr. Sahasrabudhe, and even Saab was also joining them because they thought that Saab was also one of their community. So they were assembling there. Similarly, after 4-5 days, one day they all assembled for the lunch. And soon after finishing their lunch, Mr. Sahasrabudhe asked Manyawar Kanshiram Sahib, Mr. Kanshiram, you being our own man, how can you support a Mahar, that bloody Dinabana? Why did you support him in his struggle? And you have put us in shame. Is it right on your part? Without denying that he is not a scheduled caste, without revealing his identity, he said, Sir, this Dinabana's case is very much justified. It is very much justified. See, what he has asked is very correct. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, he has written the constitution for India and he is also a national leader. So there is nothing wrong in giving a holiday for his birthday. Then that fellow, the Brahmin, he became very upset. He said, whom do you think that Ambedkar? Do you call him a national leader? Who told you? See, because of that person and his constitution, all these dogs which are to be on the streets, they are coming into our place and they are questioning us. They are getting the courage to question us. See, what is the condition of our community now? What happened to our status? It's all because of that bloody loafer, Ambedkar. The moment Saab hearing that word loafer, he lost his balance. He stood up, pushed back his chair and said, Sala kya bola re? Baba Sahib Ambedkar kon? Loafer var hai, bataya kya? You bloody fellow. He stood up. He stood up and he was about to just go and rush towards him and beat him. That Brahmin, he sensed the danger and he pushed back his chair and he just leaned back. But by then Saab stood up and he just swung his hand against him. But he missed that person. Instead of hitting him, he hit the table and the glass on the table got into pieces. He hit it so hard that his hand got cut and it started bleeding. Seeing the blood, he became much more furious. The anger went up much more. Immediately jumped over the table and started beating that fellow, thrashing blue and black. Then immediately other 4 fellows, they also came to his rescue. Saab took all the 5 people under his feet and started kicking them, hitting them very hard. And whatever he could able to get by in his hand, he was taking that and even hitting them. They were shouting. All other staff, they gathered there, but they were afraid to come into the chamber. And later on, after 5-10 minutes, this went on for nearly 5-10 minutes. By then, he had almost he had made them to fall on the ground. They all gathered, and somehow all the people just came into the chamber and got hold of him and brought him out. By then, somebody called the police. Police also came. And police took possession of Manyawar Kanshiram Sahib. It's only then these Brahmin fellows got the courage to speak. By then their face was bleeding, the nose was cut, the mouth was cut, and the spectacles were broken, shirts, pants were torn. They were coming out and said, we'll see how you will finish your PhD and we'll see how you can come into the compound of our office, CMI. But Saab told him, you bloody fellows, do you think that you will be alive to permit me or to prevent me coming to this institute, I will kill you, all of you. All of you, one by one, two, three, four, five. I'll kill all of you. It's my challenge. It's my promise. It's my pledge. I will do that. Make sure that if you are alive on this earth, then you talk. Then you talk about my career. By then, police took Saab away. He was shouting and going out, and he was arrested. After some days, he got the AC bail. It is during that time, Saab's mother wrote a letter to him and told him, "My son, you got the job now. Now you must get married. We have found a very good girl, and she is a very suitable girl for us. Please come once and finalize it. We'll have the marriage fixed." At that time, Saab thought, now I have taken a pledge, because Saab was very seriously taken that issue. Within 3 days after coming out of the jail, he purchased a pistol, illegal pistol he purchased, and he was very much decided, even at the cost of my life, I should not allow these people to live. That was his pledge. So Saab thought that in case, if I finish all these 5 people, I will not be spared. I'll be put into jail, or I may be sentenced to death. In that case, this innocent girl will become a widow. In the process, if I am get killed by these idiots, even then she becomes a widow. For no fault of her, she will be suffering all through her life. Why should I make a girl to spoil her life? It's not correct. So he was about to write to his mother that he is not willing to marry. It is on the same night, a senior Ambedkar from Pune came to visit Saab, and he very much sympathized with Saab. And he said, "We are all with you. We admire your struggle. We'll see that you will get justice. Don't worry." After consoling him, he gave a book, that is Annihilation of Caste. Till then, Manyawar Kanshiram Saab never read any book about Baba Saheb Ambedkar. He was not knowing much details. And the story he heard from Parshuram and from our Dinabana, he had developed a respect for Saab. And he also developed a great love for Saab, Baba Saheb Ambedkar. It was an emotional kind of a bonding. But now he got the book to understand Baba Saheb Ambedkar intellectually. He sat down for the whole night and he read the book for 3 times. Early in the morning, he felt like enlightened. He thought, these Brahmins have not only spoiled my own life, they have spoiled the entire India. They caused the whole India to suffer. It is because of this Brahminism, India is suffering. And here is the cure. It is a disease. Brahminism is a disease, but Ambedkarism is the cure. It is the medicine. So I must take this medicine to the people. There is no point in just killing these 5 people. It's very easy. I can finish them. But India will still suffer under a Brahminical condition. In Punjab, the Brahmins are considered to be very idiots, dull-headed fellows. They used to say, Brahman logo ko akal nahi. So they were telling like that. Even in his class, all those Brahmins were dull, idiot students. And his teacher was advising the intelligent people like him to assist them. So he was wondering how these Brahmins were so dull-headed and idiots duffers in Punjab have become so intelligent, cunning elsewhere. But now it was really shocking to him. And then he decided, I must see that the Brahminism should be put an end. He has also understood this Brahminism is carried as a political movement, keeping the Congress in front. So Congress is the political party which is upholding the Brahminism. I must see that even this Congress should be destroyed. So that was the pledge he has taken. Followed by that pledge, he has taken other resolutions which we have already spoken, and many of you know this. What I want to tell you is this. A person, if he takes such a strong decision, great decision, he must be personally moved. He must be having that, that pledge taken to his very core of his heart. Unless it disturbs him internally, nobody will take such a great decision. So Saab has taken Baba Saheb Ambedkar to his heart first. And whatever he did, he just followed his heart. Later on, he also thought intellectually and he planned and he carried the movement. And you are seeing the results of it. The entire India has seen how Saab has succeeded in carrying the caravan of Baba Sahib Ambedkar to a logical end to a great extent. So other things, the next developments we can see in the next video. Till then, Jai Bhim, Jai Bharat, Jai Kanshiram.